The move breakdown that we have for you guys today is a drop jab. Now, drop jab is one of my favorite moves to use out of the triple threat. It's also one that I get highly criticized for being a travel. So I'm going to explain to you guys in detail why this is not a travel violation, as well as breaking down exactly how to use this against that defender in a live situation. The first thing I want you guys to focus on is just going into a regular jab step. So on that regular jab step, we're gonna make it more of a lateral action, lateral jab, to shift that defender to the side. And once we get that step outside of our defender's frame, what I want you to do is extend the basketball toward that jab step. This ball extension is gonna be outside of the frame to really get defender committed to the shift of the ball. We're gonna have that offhand get to our midline to allow the weight to shift continuously over the jab, and then once we load that weight over that outside foot or that jab step, we're ripping that ball back and getting into our attack. It's a low, controlled drop jab to where we can attack with aggression in the opposite direction. Now, this move is commonly mistaken as a travel because of that pivot drag happening before the basketball releases. So what's really important is that on this drop jab, we release that ball quickly because that pivot foot, back foot, is gonna have a little bit of a drag as we get into that next step. So a lot of times when people see James Harden do it in the game, we've had Steph Curry do it in the game as well, even this season, okay, they have been so quick with the drop action, getting rid of the basketball out of that hand, that it's almost simultaneous with that pivot foot dragging. And because that action of pivot foot dragging is simultaneous with the ball releasing, that move is not gonna be a travel. So I want you guys to really focus on the timing of that drop. Now, for me, I release that ball extremely fast and I do drag my pivot foot. But in a course of a game speed, not under a microscope, not watching video, but at game speed, this action is very blurred. So it's very hard for a ref or even your opponent to track if that is a travel or not. So I want you guys to understand something. When we play, it's very important to play in the gray areas of basketball. That's where the best players play. They hover in this area that is on the verge of being a travel or not, on the verge of being a foul or not when they're going into their finishes. So I don't want you guys to play black and white. I want this to be a gray area move where once you become an elite player, this is something that you can rely on as being a great move for your game. That's our move breakdown of the drop jab. Hopefully this sheds some light on whether or not it's a travel violation. Now make sure you're also conscientious of where you're playing and what age level you're playing at. Okay, if it's overseas or even if you're in middle school and the referees are for sure going to be calling a travel, understand that you have to be able to be an intelligent player to know when and if that is going to be called with the referees that you're facing. So understand the situation so that way you can make sure to have the proper application.